People say to me, "Oh, you timed it right and you did the right thing. You retired at the top." I said, It wasn't because of that. It was because I felt it was time for me to retire. And of course, that probably had a huge influence in it. But I think I knew before the tournament that I probably wouldn't, play for England again. It was great. It doesn't really add any more to winning the World Cup because it doesn't get any better than winning the World Cup. But I just knew, when I retired from all rugby 18 months later, I just knew that was the time to go. I didn't ever want to be on the field and the training field or the playing field with England thinking, am I really 100% committed to being here today? And the easy thing is playing the games. The hard thing is the preparation to play the game. If you can run out the crowd, 80,000 people, if you only surgery through, that's easy. You don't feel any pain. You don't feel particularly tired. You just get on with the job. The difficult thing is Monday morning or Sunday morning is picking yourself up, getting ready for the next one, training, preparing, spending that time away from home. And I felt that if I had to think about, do I want to be there? It's probably time to retire. If you're already thinking about it, decisions may be made in your mind that it's time to go. So I prided myself whenever I played or trained that I was there ready to go. I didn't turn up to make the numbers up or go through the motions. I was there 100% committed to improving or to winning or whatever it was. So when I had those doubts, and I thought, well, that's your time to walk away, and maybe it's a game or two early, but better than that than a game or two late. I'd seen some players play on a little bit too far. They didn't want to give it away, and I didn't want to be one of those players. I felt, and some guys, saying, "Oh, you should play your last game at Twickenham. You should finish the season off there. You should try and play 100 caps." They're all the wrong reasons to be playing. If you're there for those reasons, your own personal glory or cap counting or anything like that, you should get out. You should go because you're not there for the team to win and you to be playing at your very best. So I had those thoughts, and I thought, right, it's time that you retired.
What can you say about Martin Johnson? He's the most inspirational England player of his time. I mean, people still talk about Johnny Wilkinson and such like that. He was a huge world-class player and a world-class captain. I mean, the nearest person to him is Johnny Wilkinson, and Martin Johnson still is miles ahead of him as such. So I think that just shows you how revered he is.
Oh, Martin Johnson was a very consistent player. I honestly think he got better and better as he played more and more as he got older. Like his rugby in the World Cup in 2003, which was before he retired from club rugby, but he played, that was his last game of Test match rugby in 2003. It's quite extraordinary, the performances that he put in. Our paths crossed a lot in sport. We didn't come head to head a lot in the line out or in the scrum. You don't really come head to head as locks, but you knew that teams you played, that he was playing in the opposition, that he had an influence, and they were better teams because of the fact he was in them.
Well, I thought quite a different character to John Eales. I felt Martin probably expressed himself a little bit too much on the field sometimes. I mean, he was a great leader. He won really good line-out ball. He was an intimidating character. I thought perhaps sometimes he took that too far and didn't need to. But having said that, you always knew that you respected him, and he'd be someone that was going to be leading those players, that you're against really well against you. Martin probably would be. I'd rate him as one of the best captains that we've played against.
The guys would have done anything he asked, and he never asked for much. I think he kind of what he asked for was more or less illustrated in the way he performed himself. So we just kind of followed the lead. There were certain places I wasn't going to follow him, into this whole, his ability to sort of stand up to intimidation and to intimidate himself, was incredible. I can't pretend to know what goes on in the darker areas of the field, where the stuff that doesn't get seen so much, but I know he was certainly a force in that area, and I think that intimidation mixed with the fact that when he turned to his own team, they didn't feel that, that was only for the opposition, whereas for our side, it was kind of a respect, but also a great relief that he was on your side, and the best thing about it was, again, he had this amazing quality you just can't explain. For some reason, there were guys that could lift more in the gym, there were guys that could run quicker, there were guys that could do this better and that better, but no one could stand on the field and have the effect he did.
It takes a lot for Martin to smile. because you do use 30, 40 muscles in your face. He's actually one of the wittiest guys that you know, a dry sense of humour, quite quiet, stands back, and got a big eyebrow. You don't quite know whether it's an eyebrow which is sort of vaguely laughing at you or wanting to hurt you. So he's the sort of guy that you sort of pussyfoot around a little bit, and but he's certainly when you get to know him, he's quite an intelligent, American football loving sort of guy.
What was it?